I'll take it from there. You remember Water Wolf? Because you and I grew up in New York City. Remember the great Water Wolf when he was doing his highlights, every evening on CBS? Remember Water Wolf, Max Kellerman? Let's go to the videotape. Remember that? I got videotape for you. I got videotape for you, Max Kellerman. Brian Borg, our producer extraordinaire. Give me highlight number 1, please. Take it away. Play it.
He's in the conversation for greatest defensive player who ever lived. You don't even really think about his offense, except right now, he's shooting 60% from the field in the playoffs. A former finals MVP before he entered his prime is shooting 60 in the playoffs. Best offensive player, including KD, who's also in his prime, but Kawhi's not playing with Steph and Clay. So under pressure, yes, Kawhi is better than Kobe was.
What that video didn't show was the fact that Jay Williams and I got up off the set and walked out because of the dribble, the blasphemous that you just spewed. But Max, wait a minute before I get into Kawhi and
No,
you.
before
I
you
got
go on,
more.
hold on,
Play
hold
the
on.
next. Hold on.
Wait. You can get to more.
Let you speak.
You can get to more. Hold on. We're taking this one at a time, brother.
I got another tape.
You
play the
play
tape,
more
Brian.
tape, but
play
one
the
thing
other
at a
tape
time.
right now. We don't want to hear
One
from
thing
Max.
at a time. LeBron is a greater player than Kawhi when all is said and done, historically. KD will be too, I believe. But right now is what we're talking about. We're not talking about lifetime achievement. Right now, I think Kawhi is the baddest man on the planet. He is the reigning and defending finals MVP, and not for the first time, and I believe he's going to do it again.
That was Max Kellerman, ladies and gentlemen. Now let me get to last night's game. Kawhi Leonard. That might be the biggest choke job we've ever seen in NBA history. I mean, it was that bad. It was that bad. We're talking about a two-time MVP. We're talking about a two-time champion who Max Kellerman has bloviated about being the best in the world. And what happens? You're up 3-1 in the second round, not the conference finals, in the second round against Denver, Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, not LeBron James. And in the second round, up 3-1, you blow a 3-1 lead. What do? You shoot 6 of 22 from the field. You shoot 1 for 11 in the second half. You didn't even get to the free throw line. Just an absolute positive choke job, period. Oh, it's just that simple. And I gotta say this hurts me. This hurts me because I love this brother. I think he's one of the best people you could ever meet in the NBA, and I do think he's a star. But Paul George doesn't get taken off the hook either. I mean, his performance was abysmal. It was just as bad as Kawhi Leonard. When you're in a corner, wide open, behind the three-point line, and you hit the side of the backboard, and you can't buy a basket, I can't let him off the hook. I can't let Lou Williams, Lemon Pepper Lou, off the hook either. Your job is to score. That's your job, to find a way to stop the bleeding. Lou Williams didn't do that. My brother, Doc Rivers, we know how much I love this man. We know what a great coach I think he is. You've been there 7 years. You still can't get them to the NBA Finals. Doc Rivers is in trouble. I hope that he does not lose his job. He's in a world of trouble right now. And if he keeps his job, he's on the hot seat. Sam Cassell looking to be a head coach. Damn it. This might have blown that opportunity for the immediate moment. Ty Lue, we know what a champion he is. Unfortunately, everybody's looking at that coaching staff. Why? Because load management, lack of team chemistry, team not being together, acting like prima donnas, it all came back to bite them in the you-know-what. But for the purposes of this show, that man sitting right in front of me, right there, that split screen, right there, Max Kellerman. I mean, talk about somebody that should shut up. If not flat out, I don't want to hear whoops. No. I mean, you owe America a public apology. You owe the basketball gods a public apology. Kawhi Leonard, he wasn't even the third option when he was in San Antonio and he won the league MVP. And then last year, there was no Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson went down. He shouldn't have won last year. This was the first time in his career he was the number one dude. All the pressure was on him, and he flat out choked. There is no way around this. Floor is yours.
Yeah, he choked. That's right.
I'm not finished, but the floor is yours.
As John Maynard Keynes, Stephen A. said,
yeah, he choked.
Famous economist.
That's all you got?
When the facts change, so does my opinion. What about you, sir?
Did you bring up
last year when you showed that
clip,
and by the way, let's start.
Did
now
you
I have
just
to
bring up an
debunk
economist?
all the bunk that you just spewed. You had
You
your
just
chance.
brought up an economist
You
on
don't
a
have to debunk
basketball argument.
all the
Is that what you
bunk-
just did?
All the bunk you just spewed. Zip it, as you would say. All the bunk you just spewed. Number one, I wasn't saying for years Kawhi was the best. I said since last year's playoff. Going into the playoffs, I said Giannis was, because that's what he showed during the regular season, and LeBron was hurt, and also much older at that point. Then Kawhi dominated everyone in the playoffs, including in the finals, and at that point, I said what just happened. He had one of the all-time great clutch postseasons of all time. Considering what he did on the offensive and defensive end, considering he just won Finals MVP for the second time, I don't care who was hurt on the Warriors. If the Warriors were at full strength, no one was going to beat them, including any LeBron-led team. No one was going to beat that Warriors at full strength. Of course, if they were at full strength, they would have won. That didn't mean KD was better than Kawhi that year. It meant he was on a much, much better team. So let's get on to your Kobe stuff.
This is shameful.
Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, one of the all-time greats. And obviously, I don't want to point out where the strong stumbled right now. But you act like Kobe never had a Game 7 like that. Now his team won. Meta bailed him out in that Game 7, as did Powell. But Kobe shot, I think he even shot worse than Kawhi did last night. Like, Kobe had Game 7s like that. Don't act like he didn't. By the way, up 3-1 on a team that came back on him. Kobe and the Lakers were up 3-1
He didn't get punked.
on Steve.
He didn't get punked.
On Steve Nash.
Denver came at them the first 6
He shot
minutes
the
of the
same
fourth
as
quarter. They
Kawhi.
fouled it.
Hold on. You talked. He shot the same as Kawhi in Game 7. Now his team won. He gets off the hook for that. And guess what? I agree he gets off the hook for that. I agree you can point to Kobe and say, well, his team, if they needed him to do more, maybe he would have. Maybe that's true. It's much worse when you play like Kawhi did in a Game 7 and you get destroyed by 20.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.